Guys, here's the thing. Look, I'm going to start this video already bringing you some important information. We can root against Fluminense, right? So they don't advance for the Libertadores, right? We can mess with them later, and together we can watch Flamengo become the overall leader. Because it has to do with Rivadavia, Fluminense's group, and it also has to do with Bolivar, right? There, the Rivadavia and Bolivar game, and we're also going to take the opportunity to root against them. Right? Rosario Central, who plays against Independiente del Valle at high altitude. So here's the thing. I've prepared some interesting tips here, okay? You can get these tips on our tips channel on Telegram, so I'll leave it here for you, okay? The games we're going to have some fun with are the two that I'm talking about, right? The Bolivar game in Santa Cruz de la Sierra against Rivadavia, and also the other match that I mentioned. And the important one from the other group is Rosario Central playing away against Independiente del Valle. Okay, that game is also important for Flamengo to be the overall leader. Rosario can't win by 3 goals. It has to be by more than 3 goals against Independiente del Valle. At high altitude away from home, they won't win, but we can still take the chance to have some fun. Right, I can also make a combo with both games. Right, there are already odds on Fluminense slipping up, along with another really nice one, so we can have Flamengo as the overall leader in the Libertadores group stage. Spectacular news now, right? It was expected that Alexandro wouldn't give Flamengo an answer until after the World Cup, but no, that didn't happen. The news is wonderful, okay? Flamengo has agreed to keep Alexandro for another season, but he gets injured a lot and he's already getting older. But come on, he's a national team player. He's an experienced player, right? Obviously, you need to manage the player's workload, but yeah, man, he's a national team fullback, right? And he's super experienced and was extremely important in many matches. Yeah, decisive matches for Flamengo. So, man, honestly, I see Alexandro's renewal as really great news. I even understand those who don't like it. I get it. I respect their opinion. You know, I respect it.
Respeito a opinião.
The information is that, according to Vene Casagrande, Flamengo has agreed to renew his contract for another year. Both parties reached an agreement this week, and now all that's left is to sign the new deal. Yeah, so the athlete, now 35 years old, will stay at Flamengo until December 2027. Alexandro will be at Flamengo until he's 36, okay?
Yeah.
People are commenting here, look, great player. There's no one at his level in Brazil. Obviously, we need someone younger to be a starter. I agree, okay? But he's still very useful, okay? Especially for rotation, all right?
Yeah.
So, man, there are people obviously complaining, man, but there are also a lot of people saying the guy is going to a World Cup, and the bandwagon fans are complaining.
Yeah.
Guimarães foot, Renan is Baldança. He plays really well. The problem is that the substitute is not doing well. Ayrton is not doing well, and he's also not. He's getting up there in age. You need to have a player at the same level or better, right, to be an option, right? Flamengo will need to look for even another player as an option for Alexandro, another left back, okay?
Yeah, a lot.
Many people are complaining too. It's normal since there will always be disagreement.
Yeah, man.
I'm seeing some comments here really complaining. Yeah, honestly, I think Flamengo will need to sign a younger player for the position and extend Alexandro's contract. At least you keep the quality and experience there, right?
Yeah.
Don't have money to sign a good fullback? No, I think Flamengo will look for this fullback. Flamengo is just holding on to the one they consider experienced, right? People are asking about Pulgar. Nothing yet. Pulgar has a contract. The issue with Pulgar is just interest from other clubs. So guys, I'm here to bring you some important information, right? Yeah, we were live on Placker and we got some information here that came out on ESPN about Santos looking to sign a left back. And they made inquiries about Ayrton Lucas from Flamengo, right? And Rubens from Dynamo Moscow. Flamengo needs to go after a left back, right? Flamengo's going to have to go after one. They extended Alexandro's contract, right? Okay, it's almost done. Just needs to sign, renewing with Alexandro, but they're still going to need a left back. So the negotiation for the player who plays in Russia is considered more complicated, right? Because of the high cost, Santos is going through some serious problems there. Financial problems. However, according to Raiza Simplicio during the Placar Aberto show, no official inquiry has reached Ayrton Lucas's staff. It could have been they might have made inquiries directly with Flamengo, not with the staff, but Ayrton Lucas's staff, according to what she said, didn't receive any inquiries. Besides that, Flamengo has no intention of selling the fullback, and the player also hasn't shown any desire to leave the club. Flamengo isn't exactly satisfied with Ayrton Lucas. Flamengo will only consider negotiating if a really good offer comes in, okay? For a sale, and also, if they've already lined up the signing of another left back. Flamengo isn't going to lose another left back, right? Yeah, man, it's surreal, isn't it? Because Viña already went to River Plate. Many people, myself included, have complained. I believe Viña deserved more chances at Flamengo. But they've already lost Viña. He should leave pretty much for a low price, right? Yeah, it's in the contract, right? The purchase option. So, honestly, Flamengo has to sign him. Flamengo needs to go after this left back. Then you can do whatever you want. If there's an offer for Ayrton, negotiate. They've already renewed with Alexandre, but they'll need to sign a younger left back. Let me see what Flamengo fans are saying about this possible sale of Ayrton Lucas. And Flamengo is making the decision not to negotiate, okay? The fans are commenting here, look, go with God, harsh crowd, right? See you later until we meet again. Bon voyage. Arrivederci, 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 right? See you later. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Do you want an Uber to take you to the airport? People are talking. The crowd has lost patience. The fans have lost patience with Ayrton Lucas. Santos is not a friend. He's a father. Finally, he's leaving. It doesn't get any worse than that. The worst part is Flamengo wants to wait until they sign another left back first. I'll cover the Uber to the airport. I'd trade him for the club badge. Yeah, Flamengo might also have to look for a goalkeeper, right? I don't know how it's going to be, if Rossi will stay or leave. Let's see. Look, that's important information reported by Fabrizio Kika, right? I follow Fabrizio Kika's channel a lot. Important information that he brought. Yeah, man, here Flamengo has a friendly match lined up with Benfica for July 11th in Portugal. Goto is very well connected there with Benfica. Despite his issues with Vinicius Jr. there and Flamengo's connection with Vini, right, Goto worked at Benfica. He has a good relationship there. And he's working on that. There's this thing about Flamengo doing this mid-season training in Algarve and everything. So the match is part of the strategy to internationalize the Flamengo brand. And it also represents an opportunity to face one of the main clubs in European football. Besides the sporting importance of the match, the duel also brings together partners that both teams have in common, since both Flamengo and Benfica have a partnership with Adidas. And also with Flamengo's main sponsor, right? Flamengo has the same main sponsor as Benfica. So Flamengo wants to play this match, and in Europe, Flamengo is expected to have this mid-season training camp. They haven't officially announced the mid-season training camp in Algarve yet, right? They're still negotiating in Portugal, and then they would play on July 11th, right? Still during the World Cup, right? With the World Cup almost ending, right? The World Cup finishing. Let me check here. When does the World Cup end, right? World Cup final? Oh. The final is on July 19th at 3 p.m., 3 o'clock. So that would be the final stretch of the World Cup, right? We don't know if Brazil will be there. Anyway, if any club or any national team that has a Flamengo player is there. But anyway, Flamengo already expects the players to report on June 19th. Those who are no longer in the cup and those who, were released. And so June 19th, and then after that, they're scheduling this mid-season training camp in Portugal. And then Flamengo would play against Benfica on July 11th. Right? And then this would be the project, according to Fabrizio Kika, to internationalize the Flamengo brand. So Is it a good idea? Diario record from Portugal revealed what Jorge Jesus' next steps will be, right? Especially, yeah, it's getting Flamengo's fans excited and everything. It's stirring everything up, right? But what will the next steps be? Take a look. There's an interview with Jorge Jesus in Diario Record. Quote, now I'm looking for another challenge. I intend to keep adding to my achievements. That's why I only take jobs with teams that can compete for trophies. Approaches from several teams are coming in, and fortunately, I have plenty of good options for 26-27. I'm going to take advantage of it. In the next few weeks, I'll visit a group of friends I left in Rio de Janeiro, and then, yes, I'll carefully consider what my next challenge will be. We've already reported that he aims for the Portugal national team. His focus is on the Portugal national team. In fact, at Flamengo, everyone already knows that. Even though it's his dream, can you imagine? He and Jardim are friends together. It would be nice if Jorge Jesus could go to Flamengo's mid-season training camp in Algarve. You know, help Flamengo give some advice. Since he really knows Flamengo's inner workings, he could help Jardim solve the problems they still have there. But yeah, Jorge Jesus is already fantastic, right? So after the statement, Flamengo fans took over social media with comments like, it's my dream, I would make this deal, Jardim as Mr.'s assistant, come and be happy. People want Jardim as Jorge Jesus' assistant. Oh man, why not have him work with Jardim or him as technical director? That's possible too, right? Fans requested what seemed impossible, JJ coaching the Brasileiro and Jardim leading the Libertadores. Man, put both of them, make one the technical director, but that's it, okay? The information we've already mentioned here before is that he prioritizes, right? He won't say it, but right now he prioritizes the Portugal national team, okay? But he could help, they're friends, so he'd help, he will help, right? Yeah, we have to point out that Leonardo Jardim and Jorge Jesus have a relationship of mutual respect and admiration, a strong friendship, right? And Jardim is a professional who has a contract with Flamengo, and they're friends, he'll welcome him. Jorge Jesus now, there's no doubt the fans are going to sing and everything. Jorge Jesus at Maracanã, my God. I know that Jardim isn't afraid of ghosts, but the crowd is going to sing, ole, 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 mister, mister. But it's all good. Hey, Mr. Jorge Jesus, give some tips to Jardim at least, you know, to smooth things out so everything will work out. That's it. I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave a cool like on the video. Thank you so much for your company. Red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Thanks.